Are we ready? Great. Good morning and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Monday, March 14th, 2016.
Commissioner Davis, Rodriguez, Repeni, and Jacinto are present. President James, Vice President Rodriguez. I'm so used to doing this. My apologies, Vice President Rodriguez. We do have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Veretta Everhart, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Craig Shaw, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Eddie Chavez with the Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Vice President Rodriguez, we do not have any speaker cards under general public comment nor any of the regular items for today's agenda.
Okay, then we will go ahead and close general public comment, which brings us to our first item of business, the approval of the meeting minutes for the meeting of Friday, February 26, 2016. Is there a second to my motion to approve those minutes? Seconded by Commissioner Davis. Those minutes will be approved. Taking us to agenda item number 1, which is the Board of Public Works recommending board approve and forward to the Los Angeles City Ethics Commission the updated Conflict of Interest Code, Schedule A, of designated positions and Schedule B of disclosure categories for the Board of Public Works. Mr. Campos.
Thank you, Commissioners. Morning, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. The item before you is just to update our Conflict of Interest Code for designated positions and disclosure categories for the Office of the Board of Public Works. On a regular basis, every year or 2 years, biannually, we do update our categories, Schedule A and B, to include those positions that are required to disclose any conflict of interest. The report before you is just updating those positions to include not only our financial services, which were merged to our office a couple of years ago, but also our systems group, Mr. Truman Brown, who is now a senior systems analyst too. So he will now be required to report to the City Ethics Commission on any conflict of interest. So again, this is a regular administrative item requesting your approval to forward this to the Ethics Commission for transmission and acceptance.
Thank you. Colleagues, are there any questions regarding agenda item number 1? Seeing none, I will move. Is there a second to my motion to approve by Commissioner Jacinto? Is there any objection? Saying none, that item will be approved, and without any objection, we can send that forthwith. We'll go ahead and send that forthwith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to agenda item number 2, the Bureau of Engineering recommending the board reject all bids received on August 6, 2015 for the sidewalk repair program, bid package number 16, and notify all bidders. I'm sorry, excuse me. Thank you so much, Commissioner Jacinto. Well, since I started reading, this is agenda item number 3, so go ahead and take agenda item number 3. Bureau of Engineering recommending the board reject all bids received on August 6, 2015 for the sidewalk repair program, bid package number 16, and notify all bidders of the board's action. Mr. Carl Nelson.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Nelson, Bureau of Engineering. Yes, the matter before you is a request from the Bureau of Engineering to reject all bids for bid package number 16 for the sidewalk repair program.
Thank you. Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you. Carl, what is the rationale for the rejection of all bids, sir?
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto. Actually, the sidewalk repair program did not receive all of its budgeted monies during fiscal 15-16, and bid package 16 was late in the year, and it is the one that no longer aligns with the funding for the program.
Okay, so that because there is not enough revenue to fund that bid package, you're requesting to basically take that bid package off the table.
Yes, there's actually a second criteria in that bid package 16 is made up of entirely city facilities. And late in the fall last year, it was determined that the program should begin to focus on Department of Disability sites so that Even though at this time there is liquidity in the sidewalk repair program, the emphasis is now to work on Department of Disability sites, hence the request to go ahead and reject all bids on bid package 16 since it is all city facility sites.
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto. So then what is the implications in terms of these locations going forward in the near future?
City facility sites, there's actually an additional 450 remaining city facility sites for work, sidewalk repair work to happen. And it will take several years for all of the city facilities to receive attention. As the sidewalk repair program goes forward in the near term, the directive has been to work on the worst of the worst and to also to respond to council request so that the bid package 16, the sites that are in 16 may not come back to a bid package for even several years.
Okay. Commissioner Davis.
Is there some timelines with regard to our overall plan? Obviously, the areas that you have identified, the rehabilitation centers, is a priority. Is that what you just told us in terms of our focus on implementing the first part of the sidewalk repair program?
Commissioner, let me defer to Ms. Alice Kim.
Okay.
So as Carl was speaking, right now our priority is to complete the Department of Disability sites. Right. As for the rehab center, it is being part of our database and being, I guess, it'll be a priority once it's spoken out by the council districts.
In terms of the disability sites, how many of them are there? Is it just one, or are there several?
There are several. There are at least 70 sites.
70 sites. So, okay, so that's our top priority. And then you did state that the other areas that are most in need are our second priority.
Yes, we are based on the council district's request as well.
Sure.
So we're trying to package a little bit of everything, but our main target, our next package is going to be part of disability requests.
Sure. Now, we do have some areas where there are some dramatic needs, and I guess when you say the council requests and when you say in general those areas that are in need, but for example, sidewalks that are the most clearly in need are going to be prioritized as we move forward in the program.
Yes, we are prioritizing the worst first.
What do you anticipate in terms of time will be the issue as we look at the disability sites? We said 70 of them are our priority. An estimate, what kind of time are we looking at in terms of the 70? Would you just estimate? I know you can't tell me the day and the specific time, but what's the estimate of what 70 disability centers would cost us in terms of time?
Well, we're still waiting for the budget to come out, so we want to make sure we want to align that how we divide all these sites are in line with our budget. So these 70 sites, it could be...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because
it depends on the financial resources that will allow us to achieve that.
Yes, because these DOD sites are in residential areas, and it also aligns with the cooperation and also the trees issues. If there's tree removals...
Well, let me ask this question. If, in fact, we did have the money, how long would it take us to do 70 sites?
Alice, we're asking about when are we going to finish the 74 sites?
Yeah.
Commissioner?
Estimate, just an estimate. Would it be, is that, for example, is that an 18-month project if we had the money? Is that a 2-year project?
Commissioner, the 74 Department of Disability sites are actually generally not that big sites, and they are expected to be completed during fiscal 16-17, the next fiscal year.
Okay.
Now, I should interject that later today, the joint council committees of gang reduction and public works are going to meet and advance a sidewalk repair policy. And out of that exercise, it could change the priorities for the sites that receive attention first.
I see. Given this policy that the board is contriving, My concern would be the budget in terms of your projection of what the costs are given the tasks that need to be performed. So, for example, we know that there are 70 disability sites. From your perspective as a bureau executive, how much generally does that cost? Or let me just ask a general question. Did you submit a budget that includes the tasks that we have before us? Did you submit a budget that says we have 70 disability sites and this is how much it costs? We have so many sites that are the most in disrepair in our council districts in a certain area of town based upon the years in which it has been that we've repaired those sidewalks, and that costs so much money. Did you have a budget that prioritized our task based upon what you think the variables are to tackle this Herculean challenge?
Commissioner, thank you. That was a well thought out question, and actually, no.
Okay.
The sidewalk repair program is being financially driven by the tentative settlement agreement between the City of Los Angeles and the plaintiffs, the Willets et al. Plaintiffs. Now, the settlement agreement stipulates that the sidewalk repair program be funded with $31 million per year.
That's what I thought.
And of course, there's a staff component, probably a consultant to offer expertise, and then a construction component. So I predict that should the settlement agreement be adopted in the near term and the sidewalk repair program per the settlement agreement be initiated in fiscal 16-17, there would be more construction dollars available than what we had in fiscal 15-16.
I got it. So is there some uncertainty in terms of how council is going to implement the court's order? Is that pretty much it in terms of the funding for, I know that they recommended somewhere in the ballpark of $30 million annually, and they had some variables before they came up with that. But when I say they, that's the court. I'm unclear on our side of the table where council is in terms of how they seek to implement the court's order. And I guess that's where you are, trying to find out how council is going to implement the court's order before you put together a budget to prioritize our task. Is that pretty accurate?
Again, Commissioner, that is correct. As a matter of fact, the settlement agreement also acknowledges the complexity of initiating a sophisticated program, and it allows for a multi-year ramp-up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Any additional questions, colleagues? Commissioner Penning.
Hi, Carl. I know that you guys are doing your best to move everything forward, and I know that there's a lot of policy discussions that have, been that have created uncertainty with the program that are beyond your control, beyond our control. Hopefully, everything will come together soon, and we'll all have clarity as to what we're doing. It's a little frustrating to have to vote on canceling this bid package when I know that there's a lot of staff work that goes into these things, and I don't, without photos or anything like that, I mean, it's hard to see, are these locations really bad? Are some of them less bad? And kind of to evaluate what does it mean for us to walk away from this work. Not that we really have a choice, because I know what you're saying, the funding's not there. But I guess this is just to say that it's like not the ideal scenario to have to vote on this. But hopefully we'll have more consensus going forward, and we can, as you're saying, into future years have a clear plan that we are all getting behind.
Thank you, Commissioner Penning. And as someone who is familiar with the sites that are listed here, I have to tell you that it's concerning for me, because these are areas that largely do need a lot of investment in the sidewalk repair program, and they've generally not seen a lot of investment recently. So to be put in a position because of the and I clearly understand the circumstances in which we are now put in the position to have to reject this, but as someone who's grown up in and around a lot of these areas, I can tell you that it's certainly disappointing to see that we're in a situation right now that these areas are not going to be receiving the repairs that I think and I know we have these conditions in a number of locations throughout the city, but in particular, these locations are very concerning for me. But I understand the situation that we're in, and unfortunately, we've been put here not by our own choice, but by the prioritization and the process that's happening right now. So, I know it's a difficult position for folks in the bureau to be put in the position of doing right now, and so just wanted to make that comment. Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you. One more time. Colleagues, I think that we're in this period of sort of flux. We're going to have clarity very shortly in terms of the priorities, the plan. We're developing a policy and a plan for 30 years, $1 billion. And so this, I think, together with the City Council, the offices and how they want to handle some of the priorities in their areas may shake out, that maybe get addressed earlier rather than later. So I think we're very much anticipating the next couple of months for that sort of explicit plan moving forward.
Well, I know the people in the city are very eager to see it moving forward, so I'm hoping we can develop that consensus fairly quickly, because I know it's long overdue in terms of our ability to serve in this way. Is there a motion to move by Commissioner Jacinto, seconded by Commissioner Davis? We'll go ahead and adopt agenda item number 3. Thank you very much. And is there any objection to sending that forthwith? We will send that forthwith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going back, to agenda item number 2, I apologize for skipping that earlier. Bureau of Engineering recommending the board authorize the city engineer to issue deductive final closeout change order number 12 to JR Pipeline Company, Inc. for a deductive amount of $292,470.69 for the La Cienega Interceptor Sewer Rehabilitation, Jefferson Boulevard to La Cienega Boulevard project. This is in Council District 10, and Mary Marcus.
Good morning, Commissioners and board members. Mary Marcus, Bureau of Engineering. This report is requesting authorization to issue a final closeout change order for the La Cienega Interception Rehabilitation Sewer Project. The change order is in the amount of approximately $293,000 in deduct amount, which exceeds the $100,000 of City Engineers Authority, and therefore we are requesting board authorization to issue. The La Cienega Interceptor Sewer was built in 1924, which is more than 90 years ago. The condition of the sewer was unknown at the time of the design. There had been collapses upstream and downstream that were rehabilitated via other projects. There was very limited access to the sewer, and this project installed maintenance halls to add access to the sewer. Hence, there are some conditions unknown about the sewer, and there were bid items that were estimated, and the debris in the sewer was estimated. It was not known. This final closeout change order is a cleanup change order to deduct the unused balance on allowance items that were not fully utilized and the bid items that still have a balance in them.
Any questions, colleagues? No? Is there a motion moved by Commissioner Jacinto and seconded by Commissioner Davis to adopt agenda item number 2? Having no objection, we'll go ahead and adopt that. And if are there any objections to sending that forthwith? Seeing none, we'll send that forthwith.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 4, Bureau of Contract Administration and the Bureau of Engineering recommending the acceptance of Package 1 Sidewalk Repair Program completed by Kiewit Infrastructure West Company. Hannah Choi.
Good morning again, Commissioners. This report is the very first package that's coming before you, a closeout of the sidewalk repair program. As you know, when the Council adopted the sidewalk program March of last year, they declared that all these projects were urgent necessity projects and instructed BOE to utilize whatever on-call list they had in place to quickly award these projects. So this was the very first project that was awarded under the on-call. It's the on-call emergency geotechnical Structural Construction Services on-call list. It's a long name, but that was in place, fortunately, back in 2014. So that list was utilized to award contracts for the street repair program, the sidewalk repair program. So the way the on-call list was structured was you could either award it to the firm that's on top of the list, or, if feasible, call out for bids for everybody on that list. And so this particular project, the very first one, was declared of super urgent necessity work. So they went to the top of the list, which was Kiewit, and it was estimated at less than $500,000. All the work was completed. We have no problems. And hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of these packages coming before you. I had a conversation with Carl earlier, and there are 22 packages out there to date. So we're moving forward. We'll definitely know more how this program is going to shape up in the future.
Thank you, Hannah. Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you, Vice President Rodriguez. Hannah, this was completed last year. In July. Did we ever submit a report, just like, I know this is the construction order acceptance, but did we have sort of a tally on how the package went? Because it was before I came, so I'm not sure if we did submit that.
Is in terms of?
Just performance, Kiewit, the subs and BIP and maybe Weeby issues.
Oh, okay. Because it's emergency work, there are no business inclusion program as part of this, or the LBPP program. According to the report, everything was done according to the specifications, and we had no issues, problems, and it was a rather small project, so I think everything went smoothly.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah.
Sure.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Seeing none, is there moved by Commissioner Davis to approve? I'll second that motion. Any objections? Seeing none, we will approve that item, and without objection, we'll go ahead and send that forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 5 is a motion recommending Board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Trimming Land Company, Inc. for subcontractor substitution of Stay Green, Inc. with their own forces for tree trimming work in connection with the tree trimming in the parkways of Van Ness Avenue from Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to 43rd Place and on certain other streets project. Hannah Choi.
Yes, good morning again. This is a substitution request. There were no issues surrounding this substitution. The subcontractor was listed for $12,555. Apparently, the schedule did not work out for them. They had other work that they were committing to, so they requested a withdrawal, and the prime will take over the work.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis, that's your motion, and I will second that. Without objection, we will approve. Is there any objection to sending that forthwith? Seeing none, we will send that forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Specifications, item number 6, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids for the Venice Dual Force Main and Venice Pumping Plant Generator Replacement, PP 646, work order number SZC11631, SZC12541. The estimate is $75,401,024, and the bid receipt date is Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. Is there a motion to adopt? Moved by Commissioner Jacinto. I will second. Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Penning.
Who do I address?
Just for
It's an
clarification,
invitation.
it was moved by Commissioner Repenning, seconded by.
You had a question.
You had a question. Okay.
This is a big contract, and hopefully there will be a good recommendation for a package that reflects the diversity that I think we try to get to. And, a lot of times on the construction stuff or where there's drilling or boring, we hear a lot about the work being really specialized. Nonetheless, $75 million is a big contract, so I just wanted to make a statement about my hopes for the future on this one.
That's a good point. So just to encourage
Statement about my hopes for the future on this one.
as it relates to this particular project, given urge the Bureau that they do an extremely thorough job of outreach efforts.
It does indicate that this project will be subject to
The scope and the size of it.
And Commissioner, if I may add, the report before you, about to hear a report about that. The project labor agreement, which has historically achieved very good results in.
Yes.
Send them to that to Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Davis.
I'd like to do an therein the diversity, as well. Penning's point, to the degree that subcontractors can also share a supplement of money going out as the project labor agreement, that too would be helpful when we have this kind of large.
So there was a motion
Thank you for
from the Public Works budget, so I agree with her 100%.
Take those comments back to their staff as well as those comments. And we do have representatives from the Bureau of Engineering and Sanitation, which I'm sure will
motion to approve by Commissioner Huston.
they go through this bidding process.
Yes, thank you very much. So there was a motion moved. Is there any Cinto, seconded by Commissioner Repenning, and that item will be approved. Oral report from the Bureau. Objections to sending that forthwith. We will send that forthwith. Thank you very much. Good morning. Bureau of Contract Administration, item number 7 is on project labor agreement.
Dennis Lam from the morning.
Who's here? Who do we have?
Good morning. Present the project labor agreement, Bureau of Contract Administration Office of Contract Compliance. I'm here today to present quarterly report as of March 2016. Can I please have everyone turn to page number 2? Shows the project labor agreement and how many. On page number 2, it shows the first tape project and dollar amount we have so far that were awarded from 2010 to 20. Both shows the old PLA, which goes the agreement project, that 15. And the second chart shows the project. We have 61 projects, which goes from 2015 to 2020. Under the OPLA, in those 61 projects, the dollar amount of $714 million approximately, and 4 of them, 31 of them have been closed. 26 of them are waiting to be awarded. Have been awarded. That means that have gone through the bid process. And I just in looking at the 61 project, the local apprentice is 50%. The goals for those projects for the local hire is 30%. So and the disadvantaged hire is 10%. The local hire, in terms of the total project, as of today, hire is 67%, is 41%. The local apprentice, so we are percent, and the disadvantage is 24%. This department is doing really well in terms of meeting the local hire goal. PLA, for the new PLA, or some people call it the renegotiate, $304 million. There are 28 projects, and with a dollar amount of approximately, and those will be awarded within the next 9 months. Active PLA project, on page 3, it shows the all the projects that have been awarded, and it's just a partial list, and these are status as of February, the OPLA. So under the project's completion status, 25th, 2016, it gives the in terms of how far the project is along. Some of them have 0 because like a construction progress. So.
Excuse me, I have a quick question. So I noticed
that means the construction has not started yet.
Is the asphalt just on page 4, and I know you're going to dig into that right now, but
Okay.
As a PLA on the plant number 1, I believe we did adopt that as a PLA, so is that going to be reflected
Item number 1, the asphalt plan number 1.
list once we've awarded?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, for dollar amount is the one. That one was not originally on the PIT list, but because of the moving on to page 3, potential PLA component added to the project. Yeah, under the OPLA. So therefore, it gives the project to be awarded, which will be 3 projects that are on the PIP list. After the project has awarded, and 1 potential PLA project that will be awarded. So PLA guideline been awarded will monitor those projects according to the on page 5. Awarded in the next 9 months. It shows the list of PLA projects that will fall under. That's just a partial list. This project, looking at the chart, the new PLA guideline, the new PLA, and anticipated to go out to bid in the next. 8 of these projects will be awarded within the next 3 months. So those are all. Yeah, and page 6 is a continuation of page 5. Go out to bid in the next 9 months. All the project that will be 7 is shown on page. In terms of meeting the PLA, shows how the project are doing. So looking at the goal. Local hire overall is chart. You see that the disadvantage is 40%. The overall local apprentice hire is 63%. Do the table overall is 24%. As you go local hire you see how each project is doing in terms of meeting the local apprentice goal, the local apprentice goal, and the disadvantage goal. Provide a summary of our page 8, local hire worker. It gives the total number that each journeyman and in terms of journeyman, apprentice, and also the hours apprentice have worked so far, and the local hours that journeyman and apprentice. The PL. So as of today, 156 journeyman has provided job opportunity to about 60 apprentice and 811 job opportunity apprentice. Job opportunity to 811 in terms of the local apprentice, and in hours work, PLA has provided 379 and about 200,000 hours, 379,000 hours approximately to local journeymen on pay to local apprentice. It being reinvested into page 9, it gives the estimated wage and benefit calculated is using the app Los Angeles. So basically how it's calculated and multiplying it by the average journeyman hourly rate of $42.75. PLA has provided total local journeyman hours. So in terms of journeyman to local journeyman, about $16 million, $3 million to, and for local apprentice, PLA has provided about 10,600 local apprentice. So overall, $19,230,000 hiring local worker. Just $70 has been reinvested into the local community
Thank you very much.
So that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
This year is the Bureau.
Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, thank you very much for your report. In terms of what we've been able to achieve,
I think we are
satisfied with the accomplishments and the goals we've reached thus far.
Achieve our goals because
Say this quarter, rather.
I think we have achieved, or we have far achieved the goal. But when you look at the goal, we set
our goals.
Right. Overall, in terms of how we're doing, actually we exceeded the goal
as well. Very good. In terms to exceed our goals, because
correct.
In the last quarter we exceeded our goals. Project labor agreement there, correct?
Correct.
In terms of the various projects, I know that we have a DGUP project. There is a bridge as well.
Right.
And then there's also one at the bridge, the 6th Street Bridge.
One is slightly a little bit different. The 6th Street Bridge has a PLA component to it, but that money in it.
I see.
So it has than the other PLA project because the 6th Street Bridge has federal dollar.
Really funded projects that don't have.
So it's a little bit different.
So we are able to have PLAs on local.
Well, for the 6th Street Bridge, I know.
Federal funds as well. We're doing well in terms of having PLAs there as well. I'm just asking as a matter of information.
They have a PLA component to it, yeah.
And are there other PLAs as well? Are there other locally funded projects that don't receive federal funds in which we have?
Yeah, if they're not on the PIP list.
There are some of the others as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Ask the board to, and we noticed that the dollar amount of those projects are high, then we'll consider adding PLA onto those projects.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great work. I think
Thank you. Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you for your report, sir. You have your apprentice, a bit of visuals for page 7 for the active departmental PLA to illustrate that we are doing a local apprentice and disadvantage. Be good to visualize and 50 the just above our goal. So the goal of 40 for local, the goal of 20.
Okay.
Let's take credit for it. Let's pie charts above just show a percentage. It doesn't show the fact that we're exceeding. Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Show that just as a suggestion.
There's things that the city really does that. Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto. I think that's actually a really great point. I think there's project labor agreements have been highly successful. It is right that we need to highlight and celebrate as a success, and this is one of them. The use of the hire and the apprenticeship programs and so in the city, and we want to continue to showcase that as a means of us trying to promote more local. And we will go ahead and receive. We want to thank you for your work and thank you very much for your report. Mr. Executive Officer, oral report, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
So then we stand adjourned. Thank you.